The air in the dining room thickened when she laughed, a sharp, crystalline sound that didn't belong to the woman I married. Clara's fork hovered over her plate, her lips curling into a smile that felt like a blade slicing through the quiet. Across the table, I gripped my wineglass, the stem cold against my palm, and watched her eyes flicker toward her phone. It buzzed again, the third time in 10 minutes, and she didn't touch it. She never did when I was watching. But I saw the way her fingers twitched, the way her breath caught, like a secret was clawing its way out. Work again? I asked, my voice steady, though my chest burned. She tilted her head, her auburn hair catching the chandelier's glow. Just a client. You know how needy they get. Her tone was light, practiced, but it carried an edge, like she was daring me to press harder. I didn't. Not yet. The dining room smelled of rosemary and roasted lamb. A meal I'd spent hours preparing to anchor us to something normal. Our home was a canvas of memories. Photographs on the mantel, her scarf draped over the couch, the creak of the floorboard under my chair. But tonight every detail felt wrong, like a stage set for a play I hadn't rehearsed. Clara pushed her plate away, barely touched, and I wondered when she'd stopped loving my cooking. Or me. I'd noticed the signs for months. The late nights at the office, her perfume lingering on clothes she hadn't worn at home, the way she'd flinch when I touched her unexpectedly. I told myself it was stress, her promotion, the long hours, the weight of being the breadwinner. I'd rationalized every red flag until they blended into the background of our life. But tonight, her phone buzzed again, and the lie I'd built around her cracked. "Ethan, you're staring," she said, her voice teasing but sharp, like a needle wrapped in silk. "Am I?" I forced a smile, my heart thudding. "Just admiring you." Her laugh came again, hollow this time, and she reached for her wine. The way her fingers curled around the glass, deliberate and slow, made my stomach twist. I wanted to grab her phone, smash it against the table, and demand the truth. But I didn't. I let her think she held the power. Later, as she showered, steam curling from the bathroom like a ghost, I stood in our bedroom, her phone in my hand. The screen glowed, demanding a passcode I didn't know. My thumb hovered over the numbers, guilt gnawing at my ribs. This wasn't me, snooping, doubting, unraveling. But the weight of her secrecy was heavier than my pride. I set the phone down, untouched, and waited. The next morning, Clara left early, her heels clicking on the hardwood like a metronome. She kissed my cheek, her lips cold, and muttered something about a meeting. I nodded, playing the part of the trusting husband. But my eyes followed her out the door. The moment her car pulled away, I opened her laptop, left carelessly on the kitchen counter. Her email was still logged in, a mistake, or maybe a taunt. The first message was innocent, a work thread about deadlines. The second was a confirmation for a dinner reservation I hadn't been invited to. The third stopped my breath. "Can't wait to see you tonight," it read, signed with a name I didn't know, Marcus. My vision blurred, the words searing into my mind. I scrolled, each message a new wound. "You make me feel alive," she'd written. "He doesn't suspect anything," she'd promised. I closed the laptop, my hands trembling. The kitchen spun, the same kitchen where we'd danced to jazz records, where she'd laughed at my terrible pancake flips. Now it was a crime scene, the evidence of her betrayal staining every surface. I wanted to scream, to tear the house apart, but instead, I poured coffee and waited for her to come home. That evening, Clara breezed in, her smile bright but brittle. "Long day," she sighed, kicking off her shoes. "You okay? You look pale." I swallowed the rage clawing up my throat. "Just tired," I said, my voice a stranger's. "How was your meeting?" Her eyes flickered, a microsecond of panic. "Fine. Boring as usual." She moved to the fridge, her back to me, and I saw it. The stiffness in her shoulders, the way she avoided my gaze. I'd spent years memorizing her, every gesture, every pause. Now I saw a stranger wearing her skin. "Clara," I said, my voice low. "Who's Marcus?" The room froze. Her hand stilled on the fridge handle, her breath hitching. For a moment, I thought she'd deny it, spin another lie to patch the cracks. But she turned, her face pale, her eyes wide with something between fear and relief. "Where did you hear that name?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. "Your email," I said, the words tasting like ash. "I read them. All of them. Her lips parted, but no sound came. She sank into a chair, her hands twisting in her lap. Ethan, I didn't mean for you to find out like this. Find out what? I snapped, my control fraying. That you're sleeping with someone else? That you've been lying to my face for months? It's not that simple, she said, her voice breaking. You don't understand. Then explain it, I demanded, leaning forward, my heart pounding so hard I thought it might shatter. Tell me why you threw us away. Tears welled in her eyes, but I didn't soften. Not this time. I felt trapped, she said finally, her words jagged. You were always so perfect, Ethan. The perfect husband, the perfect home. It was suffocating. Marcus, he saw me. Not the version of me you love, but the real me. Her words hit like a fist, each one a betrayal deeper than the act itself. The real you. I echoed, my voice raw. The real you lies? Sneaks around? Breaks vows. I didn't want to hurt you, she whispered, tears spilling now. I thought I could keep it separate, keep us safe. Safe. I laughed, bitter and hollow. You destroyed us, Clara. The silence that followed was deafening, heavy with the weight of everything we'd lost. I wanted to hate her, to walk away and never look back. But love doesn't vanish. It festers, twisting into something unrecognizable. I saw her now, not as my wife, but as a woman who'd chosen herself over us. I stood, my chair scraping the floor. I'm leaving, I said, the words final, though my heart screamed to stay. You can have the house, the life, the lies. I'm done. Ethan, please, she begged, reaching for me, but I stepped back, out of her orbit. As I packed a bag, her sobs echoed from the kitchen, each one a knife in my chest. But then I saw it, her phone buzzing again on the counter. Marcus's name flashed on the screen, and something inside me snapped. I didn't leave. Not yet. I waited until she slept, her face peaceful in a way it hadn't been in months. Then I took her phone, her laptop, her secrets, and forwarded every message to Marcus's wife. I didn't know her, but I found her name buried in Clara's contacts. Let her world burn too. The next morning, I was gone before Clara woke, my car pointed toward a life I couldn't yet imagine. In the rearview mirror, our house shrank, a monument to a love I'd never reclaim. But as the road stretched before me, I felt something new, freedom, sharp and cold, like a blade I'd wield alone.